Supreme Court quashes multiple FIRS over alleged mass conversions in Uttar Pradesh. The Supreme Court on Friday quashed 5 FIRs filed in Fatehpur district, Uttar Pradesh, against the Vice-Chancellor of Higginbottom, University of Agriculture, Technology and Sciences, SHUATS, and others in connection with alleged mass religious conversions of Hindus into Christianity. The Bench of Justices J.B. Pardiwala and Manoj Misra held that criminal law cannot be used as a tool to harass innocent persons and found serious flaws in the police action. Justice Pardiwala, who authored a 158-page judgment, said the FIRs suffered from glaring infirmities and lacked credible material. The court observed that continuing these cases would amount to a travesty of justice. It found that none of the alleged victims of conversion approached the police themselves. The FIRs were instead based on complaints by outsiders with vested interests. The criminal law cannot be allowed to be made a tool of harassment of innocent persons, allowing prosecuting agencies to initiate prosecution at their whims and fancy, on the basis of completely incredulous material, the verdict stated. The court noted that one of the FIRs was filed in April 2022 by a Vishwa Hindu Parishad member alleging that 90 Hindus were converted to Christianity at the Evangelical Church of India a day before Maundy Thursday. The allegations included coercion and inducements of money. The accused were also booked under various Indian Penal Code provisions, such as attempt to murder, extortion, and intentional insult, along with the Uttar Pradesh Prohibition of Unlawful Conversion of Religion Act, 2021. Justice Pardiwala noted that the person who filed the complaint was not competent to do so under Section 4 of the Act, which allowed only an aggrieved person or a close relative to file such complaints. The 2024 amendment, removing this restriction, was held inapplicable in this case, as the alleged incident occurred before the amendment. The court said that the FIRs were registered in violation of the law and that the repeated registration of cases for the same incident showed abuse of investigative powers. The bench noted that as the highest constitutional court, it is empowered to protect citizens' fundamental rights under Part 3 of the Constitution. It rejected the argument that the petitioners should approach the High Court first. Once the Constitution has cast such a responsibility upon it, this court need not direct a petitioner to pursue an alternative remedy when the grievance stems from the alleged violation of a fundamental right, the bench said. While quashing 5 FIRs, the bench ordered that interim protection earlier granted to the accused would continue. It also directed detagging of one plea linked to a separate offense for further adjudication. The verdict emphasized that the purpose of the law was to prevent forced conversions, not to criminalize voluntary faith practices. Existence of multiple FIRs for the same alleged incident stamps an abuse of investigative powers, the court observed. Not only in Uttar Pradesh, but more than a dozen states in India have passed the Prohibition of Conversion Act. Under the cover of this law, Christians are being attacked, tortured, and arrested all over India. Those who initially unleashed violence in the name of conversion at conventions are now attacking with swords and sticks during Sunday prayers and house prayers. On one hand, Sangh Parivar and Bajrang Dal activists are harassing believers and destroying their churches and houses, while on the other hand, the government and police are putting believers and pastors in jail under non-bailable sections, like life imprisonment. Some churches and houses have already been demolished using bulldozers. The situation is the same in all the states that have implemented the Prohibition of Conversion Act. Even freedom of movement is being denied. People traveling in groups on buses, trains, etc. are being stopped and cases are being filed on the charge of conversion. In short, the aim behind this is to stop Christian worship and evangelistic activities. Even if Christians have no intention of becoming Hindustani, Islamic State, or anything else other than worshiping Jesus Christ and preaching the gospel, they do not leave Christians alone. This is state terrorism, which has a totalitarian face. because the state is not only targeting Christians, but also Muslims, political opponents, and the entire cultural, social, and media sector. Those who came to power by raising their hands and swearing, "I will work for the country and the national interest," have become traitors. The police system, CBI, and ET are being widely misused. Those elected through Indian democracy are standing under the flags of their parties without providing popular governance. The Prime Minister and President of India and the Election Commission of India are all under that flag. In short, they are afraid of democracy. In the midst of this current chaos in India, today's Supreme Court verdict is very important and comforting. May there be more Supreme Court verdicts that balance it when the cornerstone of the democratic system is being shaken.